Hi, I am Amanda Scott, and this is my audience. Alright, so I'm sitting down because I hurt my knee. I've dislocated a few times, so can't really stand on it. Okay, so I did my presentation on the death penalty. It works well because I am a criminal justice major, and so it's right in my field. So are you ready? Abolishing the death penalty. A look into both sides. How would you feel if your best friend, mom, dad, brother, sister, or anyone close to you was found murdered? You'd think about the last time you were with them, or what they were thinking at the time of the murder. How would you feel towards the person who committed this senseless crime against your loved one, who took their life without their choice? Well, I've been searching for information on the death penalty, and I came across a great website called Death Penalty Information Center. This website was neither for nor against the death penalty. But I've also spoken with the person who is currently serving life without parole here in the Potosi Correctional Center, where the current death row inmates are housed. And I will attempt to show you the pros and cons of the death penalty. In the Bible, Exodus 21, verse 23 states, "But if there is serious injury, you are to take life for life, and an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth." So, you would want the person who took your loved one's life to suffer the same way your loved one did. Unfortunately, it's not the way the law works. But they could have the death penalty brought against them. The end result would be the same, only the person that committed the murder has a jury decide what the best way is. Life in prison or death. There's currently 3,035 inmates on death row. Life on death row is a little bit different than life without. You're in a single man cell, and you do everything by yourself. Everywhere you go, you're shackled and handcuffed. You've got 2 hours per day out of your cell. It means you spend 23 hours in your cell. 1 hour you get that's out is for showering, talking on the phone, going to the library, or just sitting in the day room. But of course, you do all this by yourself. The other hour, you get to go outside for a rec. You're put into a cage, but the cage is outside, and that's how you get your fresh air. But it's also by yourself. Being by yourself for so much time would, or at least should, give you enough time to think about what the victim felt, or what it's going to be like when your date comes. Of course, you still get to watch television and eat snacks. You get your medical, your dental, and if you need glasses, they pay for it. Kind of take care of everything. And you have a set time to get up and eat, and of course, you have to stand to be counted 4 times a day. Religious leaders and people that are opposed to the death penalty say it's cruel and unusual punishment. It's not fair to keep a man caged up like an animal in a small cell. It's not fair treatment for an animal, much less for a man. Another reason people may be against the death penalty would be that they had inadequate legal representation. Or you're putting an innocent man to death. The other person is lying because they're going to get a lighter sentence if they snitch, even if it means they were the one that pulled the trigger. Hey, I guess whatever works. The 10 Commandments say, "Thou shalt not murder." Exodus 20, verse 13. No one has the right to pass judgment on another human being. Where do I stand on this issue? Well, if it was my loved one that was killed by an individual and suffered a painful death, life in prison just wouldn't be enough of a punishment for that person. I'd want to see them die the same type of death and feel the same type of pain that my loved one did. If that person was given life without, he would have a better life than most of the people out here in the working class and trying to make a living do on their own. You know, I get 3 meals a day, television, rec time, people to talk to, weight rooms, chips, soda, and they don't really have to work for any of it either. They get to see their loved ones, and they get to visit, and they get to hug them and have food and conversations. But what do I have? I don't get to talk to my loved one that you killed. I don't get to hug them or tell them I love them. I don't get to ever see them again. It would give me closure to see the individual who cared so little for someone else's life die in front of my eyes. The last thing he would see was me looking at them and knowing how badly they hurt me. Maybe it's that the death penalty is too humane. I mean, you inject them with a drug that numbs the body and allows the death to be so painless. Was the death for my loved one painless? Or did they feel every single time you stabbed that knife into their stomach, neck, arms, throat, chest? Did they feel all 36 stabs that you gave to them? So why shouldn't you feel your death? Why shouldn't someone stab you all over your body 36 times and then leave you there to die the way you left my loved one there to die? If we can't have that, then how about we go back to the Stoning Age? Let me throw some stones at you. Or even better, the electric chair. That would be fun to watch. Oh, you think I'm a sick and twisted human being? What does that make you? The Bible contradicts itself anyway. It says thou shalt not commit murder. And in the very next chapter of that exact same book, it says an eye for an eye. Isn't that murder? Life behind bars is much too easy for a person that's killed someone's father, mother, brother, sister, child, or any other family member. That person did not give your loved one a choice of life or death, so why should they have one? I mean, they chose your loved one's fate. Let's choose theirs. They didn't care if it was against the Bible or how much pain your loved one suffered. You have to work for a living. You have to cook your meals and pay your own bills and support yourself. So why should we reward them? Reward the person that took your loved one to give them life without instead of the death penalty. If the death penalty is sought in a case, it means there's enough evidence to show that the individual committed the crime with the intent to murder that person. Who could actually do that to someone and not think they were going to get caught? What if the person escaped and was on the run? What would prevent him from killing again? But when they're on death row, they're shackled all the time. Makes it almost impossible to escape. Why would you give someone that has taken so much away from you a decent life behind bars? Why would you even want them to die peacefully? I say, let's keep the death penalty. Only maybe take it back around 15 years and put them to death in the chair. Or maybe even further and use the old hanging and stoning method. I think that'll work for me. Thank you.